So welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today. As we kind of let everyone settle in, I'm just going to share a little personal anecdote about Sara that I've known Sara for a long time now. Since
20 years.
20 years.
20.
Yeah, 20 years. So so it's been fun to have Sara in our studio artist program and be a part of my life for so long, and I'm just so grateful and honored to be with you today. My undergraduate thesis was actually on video art, so again, I just really admire Sara. Sara is a pioneer of video art and digital imaging. After receiving an undergraduate degree in fine art, she completed her master's degree at SUNY Buffalo, where she studied video with Vasulkas at the Center for Media Study. Hornbacher was guest editor of the first CAA Art Journal issue on video in 1985. She completed her first residency at the Experimental TV Center in 1976, and annual residencies at ETC continued through 2011. Her Signal Culture residencies began in 2014 and continued in 2018. The artist's single-channel videos, works, and multimedia installations have been exhibited throughout the USA, Europe, Australia, and Japan, including, and this is a remarkable list, MOMA, PS1, the Whitney Museum of Art, the Kitchen, Postmasters, New Math Gallery, the Bronx Museum for the Arts in New York, MOCA GA, Fay Gold Gallery, where I met Sara, and Atlanta Contemporary Art Center, where she mounted a large-scale interactive installation environment, 1,000 Plateaus, in 2001. She is, of course, currently a studio artist with us. Hornbacher has received numerous grants and awards, including a 1985 media production grant from NYSCA and the Mayor's Fellowship in the Arts from the Atlanta Bureau of Cultural Affairs in 2000. Transfigured Time, a 40-foot photomural composed of 128 portraits of Atlantans, was commissioned for Concourse E at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. In 2012, she became a legacy artist at the Burch Penney Art Center in Buffalo, New York, and her video work is being archived at the Rose Goldsen Archive at Cornell University. In 2020, she received an Artist Relief Grant. Hornbacher's work, Procession of the Simulacra, a 5-monitor installation, was shown at MOMA PS1 in a year-long exhibition, January 2018. In March of 2019, she represented Atlanta with a projection of Numerical Studies 3 at the Everson Museum's year-long exhibition, Video in America, which was an incredible exhibition. In 2020, her work, Procession of the Simulacra, was selected by curator Laura McGuff for Hallwell's Signal, Skin, Pixel, Camera, an online series which ended on July 31st. Her current installation, Procession Flag Finale, is currently on exhibit at OCA's Gallery 72 through the inauguration on January 2021. So, Sara and Monica, take it away.
Well, I'll say a few words before we start with the video. You can see in the background some text that's being keyed in here in my background. And I started really thinking about how I was going to start this talk and where. And I decided that the reason that actually I made this piece was because I was very influenced by Baudrillard when I was a student. And of course, I'd been out of school for 10 years by the time I made this. But I kept reading and being involved in the ideas because of the use of technology in my work. So when I read through the statement again, I thought, oh my goodness, this is even more true now than it was in 1988. And when I made it, it was during the Reagan era. And I remember when Reagan was elected, I thought, oh no, here we go. Obviously, that's a liberal talking. But anyway, so we're going to show some of it. And it's going to be relative to the gallery at 72. First, there'll be the image to read. And then there'll be the first video, which is at the Office of Cultural Affairs, Gallery 72. And the next one will be an inside shot at the gallery on the wall. And then eventually you'll see it on the outside wall. And we're just going to, I just shot these yesterday, some of them. So, I mean, the outside ones. So it's going to be a situation where we'll just stop it when we run over time, just so you know that it's there. Okay, Monica?
Okay, I'm just going to share my screen.
All right. So I wanted this to be a still so you could actually read it because it goes by pretty fast. And by the way, if anybody has epilepsy, you should not watch this because there's lots of flickering light and that can trigger some people having an, incident. But anyway, so the simulacrum is never that which conceals the truth. It is the truth which conceals that there is none. The simulacrum is true. So that's what inspired me, actually, and plus a few other things that came into play right then. Okay, Monica, you want to go to the next one? Okay, here's the piece, and it's at the OCA Gallery, 72, and this whole thing was done by their web designer. So there is some text. There's a flag at the above that's a placeholder. Then there's a little bit of a written part that talks about, some of the things I mentioned and plus some other things. So we're going to play this one right now, okay? You want me to? Oh, yeah. Stop. So I know there's a lot of time, so I'm going to show some little parts of things because you've already seen the whole thing. And anytime you want, you can go on those websites, either Facebook or OCA, and you'll see it for 24/7. Anyway, so I hope a lot of you understood kind of where, okay. All right, this is inside the gallery. And I wanted to show this because it shows, flat on, all you see is, the flag again. So I wanted to show how the reflection on the glass to the outside, I thought was pretty cool.
Sarah, I have a question for you, just based on what you were saying, that you had conceived of this, that you had conceived of this back in the time of
1988.
Yeah. So do you feel today that it's a similar kind of mood, not to get political, but you're showing this work in a rather evocative moment politically, and like how do you build upon what you did then with something today?
Well, that's why I said I thought it was so prescient. And, I'm very reactive to the political situation, so I'm pretty much on top of it all the time. So anyway, I think the chaos, etc., there's that part of it in the piece. And my son said to me when, I don't remember the day, but somehow right before the election or in between, he said, I guess you're getting some cooperation from what's going on. Like it was
Right.
the reverse way around.
Right.
Oh yeah, I do. And I had a lot, I would not have been able to do this piece except in New York because I had lots of support. And, there was a 7-track audio soundtrack, and I had a residency at Film Video Arts, and I was teaching at the School of Visual Arts, so I had a lot of support. So I'm glad I did it, and I think it stands up, and I'm proud of it. So I don't
agree.
know what else. Yeah. Okay, Monica, you got it? I can't believe it. Where's the audio?
It sounds good. It sounds okay.
How do I change the audio level here? You can't make the audio any louder, huh?
It's up as loud on Vimeo.
Yeah. It sounds good though, Sarah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think we can stop now, Monica. Stop that one. And just so you could see, that it's on the wall in the gallery. And then this is the outside of the building of Gallery 72. so you got the idea of what's going on. And it was shown on, originally it was shown on 5 monitors on pedestals. And if any of you were around in 2017, was it 2017, that fall? Or I don't remember. Anyway, I think so, but maybe it was 2018. I had 3 pedestals. Somebody walked away with 2 of mine, and then one of my monitors died. So, life, it has a life of its own. But when I was at PS1, they furnished all the equipment. It was interesting because Carol Lee Schneeman had her show there too, and every single room had monitors in it, her monitors in it. So they had to really round up some that were pretty old, but they were able to, make it look great. So then the whole piece is on YouTube. It's 22 minutes. So the idea of the whole thing is to really emphasize this idea of the procession. What that means is that there's an original or natural from nature, original, and then there are images, so they become copies of it. And finally, the image turns into a simulacrum because it's digital and everything's mixed together. And that's the point of it. And I thought that was pretty potent, actually, when I'm thinking about, working in video. No. This is my brother right here, John Stephen.
Hi, John. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, we're recording this as well, so for those who aren't able to join. Monica, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just would love for you to talk about the use of flicker. And the way that the things are intercut, and they're with the flicker, you're seeing all the images combined because it's so many one frame. Or maybe you could talk about that process, because it's really the concept and the idea of the simulacrum and the statement. You're doing that in you're creating that experience for us, within the form of the piece in the process. So I thought maybe you could say something about that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, Monica, I can give you the statement that I have, my own statement, and you can put it in the chat if you want to, but I don't have it ready right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a PDF or a doc, I don't know which. And I went to school in Buffalo, and when I was graduating from undergrad in fine arts, it took me a while to get through undergrad because I got married when I was 19. I have 3 children. So there were years there where I was not really doing video, but I was still making art. And I was a conceptual artist, I would say, at that point. And so that fit right into structuralism, which was the rage. I just happened to be lucky to be in the mid-70s, where all the Europeans were coming through. Media study humanities program was trying to duke it out with a few other schools like Berkeley and Johns Hopkins and things like that. So there was a contest of how many of these French theorists could they bring in. Then also Paul Scherritz was my teacher, and I started out working in film, and then when I got to go to the, I was cutting every 3-4 frames in film. And then I thought, this is just too much. So when I got a chance to go to the Experimental Television Center in 1976, they had a sequencer. And a sequencer will take in different images. And depending on how fast the rate is, and you have a lot of control between voltage and sequencing speed, and it's amazing. So I learned a lot that's in this piece from that, although I did some of this at the Film Video Arts in New York. I didn't really work on this piece that much, I don't think, at ETC. And so I was working in New York and working with Brooke Williams. We did a 7-track mix of the sound. I got to go and work on high-end equipment, which is, for 30 years ago, pretty sophisticated. It was a program by Media, what was it called? What's that? What's the name of the program? And Monica, you know that Kathy High, and the you get access to going in at night to work with editors in a commercial site. It's a relationship with a nonprofit, and so I got to do that. So all in all, I could say this piece had a lot of karma behind it. Is that good enough,
Sara?
Monica?
Oh my gosh, yeah, of course. It's a really nice to hear the context.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, I think you should write a book. I mean, you're just, talking about Paul Scherritz and Carolee Schneemann, like it's like you're a formidable force in this contemporary art world. And I really think we should find time to document your stories and your experiences. It's remarkable. We do only have about 2 more minutes left. So I hate to cut us short. I think hopefully come May we'll be, doing this in person. But thank you all for being here. And I put a few things in the chat. I did put Paul Scherritz's bio and website in the chat, as well as the full YouTube of Sarah's piece. But yeah, Sara, thank you so much. And Monica, thank you for being in person.
One last thing I want to say is really, if you get a chance to go by 72 Marietta Street outside, you can't go inside. This is a COVID piece, given, that the city said, no audience people, no, that's a building where a lot of people work. And so they have security and stuff, but they're not letting any gallery goers in. So it had to be, I was going to do something else. And in a way, again, it's fate, karma, because this is what I had done and it was so perfect. But if you have a chance, go see it for real. There's speakers outside, so it's pretty loud. It competes with the traffic, so it's kind of cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. And Monica, thank you for being our Zoom guru of sharing videos. We appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you all.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.